Warning, this story is very scary and will make you piss yourself. Hello, all my guys, gals, and everyone in between. Today, I'll be reading you a very popular creepypasta called Dead Arnold, Magic School Bus Creepypasta by the author Weeping Leroy 42. It starts. A hot summer day. I was driving my Prius down the road of my local neighborhood, looking for a yard sale. Luckily, I found one full of goodies to keep for myself. In this yard sale, I found a DVD of my favorite cartoon, SpongeBob SquarePants. I have always loved SpongeBob SquarePants, and SpongeBob SquarePants always loved me. I gleefully ran towards the salesman and he said, "You can have it for free." I pissed my pants out of happiness and ran to my car, and I drove home as fast as I possibly could. I imagined all of my favorite episodes, such as the one where SpongeBob goes to sleep and enters all of his friends' dreams. Oh, how funny it was to see Plankton stomping around as a giant. You see, it's quite humorous, because Plankton typically is smaller than SpongeBob. But in this dream sequence, he was quite large. I giggle at the thought of Plankton being that big, while I drive to my humble abode. I ran over a possum, but I didn't see anyone looking, so I drove off. When I got home, I saw the possum's blood on my tires. "Not a bad omen, I guess," I said as I shrug. Did you know possums are actually bigger than plankton? That's a fun fact. I ran inside and slammed the SpongeBob DVD into my PlayStation, and I clicked play. Man, I was so excited for some SpongeBob action. This DVD was quite old, for it showed ads for Jimmy Neutron, a show that had long been cancelled. After the ads were done, it played the first episode, Help Wanted. Oh boy, this was SpongeBob's big break on TV. I sit down with a bowl of Fruity Pebbles and a glass of OJ. Author's note, he did nothing wrong. After 6 hours of non-stop laughter, from the lovable SpongeBob, the goofball Patrick, the grouchy squid, the greedy crab, the strong lobster, the puffy teacher, the evil plankton, the sarcastic computer, the cute snail named Gary, of course, the genius squirrel, the mean bubble bass, that scary flying Dutchman, and the lovable SpongeBob. My DVD unfortunately broke and stopped playing SpongeBob. Boy, I was furious. I tried everything to fix it, but nothing worked. So I went up to my attic. Actually, I don't have a basement, so I went to my garage and searched through the box of VHSs. I found a copy of my second favorite cartoon ever, Regular Show, but I didn't feel like watching that, so I put it back. Then a VHS catches my eye. The Magic School Bus. I remember watching this show in my science class. Oh, how I enjoyed it. I picked it up and dusted it off. Oh, that cowardly Arnold. How comedic he was. He always wanted to go home. I could relate to him in a way. I never going to school. I wish Miss Frizzle was my teacher growing up. I popped the VHS into my VHS player. The show started. It played the intro song. Despite not hearing it in years, I sang along. The episode began with the bus driving down a road at 30 miles per hour. Miss Frizzle explains to the students, "We're going to an airport to fly around the city." "Fly? I have those around my house. They always buzz," says Carlos. The whole class just stared at Carlos in a disappointed way. I thought to myself, typically, after Carlos makes a joke, they all say his name in a droning way. Whew. Miss Frizzle continues to drive. Suddenly a possum appears in the road. Similar to the one I ran over earlier. Miss Frizzle ran it over on accident. She gets out of the bus and says, "Not a bad omen, I guess," and shrugs. I think to myself, Phoebe says, "Miss Frizzle, what is it like to die?" "Good question," says Miss Frizzle. Why don't we demonstrate with Arnold?" "Not this again," Arnold said. It then cut to Arnold's hands tied behind his back, and he's attached to the flagpole. Miss Frizzle backs up the bus and aims it directly at Arnold. I knew I should have stayed home today. Miss Frizzle puts the bus into drive, crashing it right into Arnold, killing him instantly. It then showed a detailed painting of Arnold's corpse, lifeless. I nearly puked at the sight. This isn't the show I remember, I thought. Carlos looks at the body and says, "Boy, I thought my dad's meatloaf looked gross." "Carlos," says the rest of the class. Arnold is shown, not laughing. I don't think he got the joke. I paused the show and ran to the bathroom and threw up in my toilet. I wiped my face and thought, why would a kid's show have that? I didn't think the show got so dark. I flushed it down and looked at my reflection and blinked 182 times. In one of those blinks, I swear I saw Arnold in my reflection. It's just my imagination, I thought. But I went back to my TV and the episode was still playing, even though I had paused it before. The students were all on the bus, except for Arnold. They all looked upset. Miss Frizzle drives unfazed. She drives the bus off the side of a bridge into the ocean. The TV turns itself off, leaving me in darkness, petrified. I go to bed with tears in my eyes, squeezing my Squidward plushie tightly. In my dream, I was in a white room. No doors. No windows. I look around and I see nothing at first. Then I see something approaching me rapidly. I squint and see the iconic silhouette of Arnold. I say, "Oh goody, Arnold is alive." But as he got closer, I noticed something was off. His eyes were realistic and bleeding hyper-realistically, and his smile was crooked. I then realized Arnold could not be trusted. I tried to run, but I was frozen in place. Arnold continued to approach quickly. He came to a stop 2 feet in front of me. He said, "I'm dead. You should not have killed me." I say to Arnold, "Who did I kill? Who?" Arnold snapped his fingers and I woke up. "Oh, what a horrible nightmare," I say. I look at the end of my bed and see the dead possum I hit earlier. He gets up, looks me in the eyes, and says, "Blay, I have come for revenge. I want to suck your blood, Blay." I scream in terror. What a wild night this will be. The end.